Hi, Peter Clare again. I'd like to just briefly introduce you to the product again. Just put your name and your first name and your email address above and I'll willingly send it to you. But why have I written this product? Firstly, you must keep the right side of the law, and it's quite simply expressed in a judgment many years ago by Lord President Clyde. What he inferred was that the Inland Revenue are quite rightly allowed to dig their shovel into your reserves. But on the other hand, you are quite legally entitled to prevent them taking too much, in other words, going the other side of the law. In my booklet that I'm asking you to subscribe for above, I've covered 7 cardinal sins in my opinion. And here, look, I'll just quickly go through them. This is the little booklet, and you'll have it on PDF, but if you want it in the booklet format, no problem, we'll get it to you. The first one, and I've written a separate booklet on this, and that's the ultimate tax shelter. In my opinion, especially if you're serious about your business, you should be incorporated. The second one is exploitation of the family. Not monetarily, but on a tax point of view. Don't forget that the children are individuals for tax purposes. Very important. Your spouse, well, you should equalise everything. Now here I'm not talking about any marriage breakups or anything of that sort, but you should equalise the wealth and the income of the family. Then, what about death? So many people are frightened to plan for it, but you should be planning through your lifetime to ensure that you don't pay too much inheritance tax. A very plannable tax, and very simple. In my own circumstances, I'm making sure that all my wealth is in a business and that my wife and grandchildren are all catered for and keep within the annual threshold, and I will pay no inheritance tax. Then we move on to a very simple thing, but most people don't claim all the capital allowances they're entitled to. There are firms that will look at your capital allowances in buildings, but I'm not talking about that complexity. Just the simple matter of, for example, all the assets you use at home in your business, table and chairs in your office, and that sort of thing. Then, of course, a big area of tax recovery, and there's been a very recent case which I won't talk about, but it's a major firm who've paid millions over to the revenue. Chelsea Football Club was another, through getting the PAYE wrong. Make sure you get your PAYE right. Make sure that your workers are classified correctly and then the correct deductions are made. A simple thing like getting a dispensation, which so many employers don't do. And the final one, of course, is avoiding national insurance. National insurance is an insipid tax, not necessarily a high rate of tax, but it is a tax, and that can be avoided quite simply by getting the structure right. The Revenue have tried many times to avoid abuse or what they consider to be abuse, but they fail in many cases. So look, there's 7 major areas in which you can look at your tax and try to reduce it. So if you want more information, again, kindly put your name and email address and we will send the information to you. Thank you for listening.